Hi guys, hello, that's better. It is Betty Sakosha. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and the team leader for the Power of Positive Inking. And I missed previously this week for an unexpected obligation or whatever. It was unexpected. Anyway, wasn't able to be here. Filling in today. Today is Friday, August. I don't even know. I still have my July calendar up. I don't know. August 6th, maybe? August 6th already. Already 1 week into August. But I am here today to talk about one more item that you can get during SaleABration that is still available at this time. Stampin' Up! Has introduced some new things. So if you are in the market for purchasing some things and then wanting to get some things for free for qualifying orders until the end of August, and qualifying in the US is a $50 or $100 order. There are different levels of things that you can get. So they just introduced some new things that are in the regular catalog. So if you're not sure what those are, if you go to your demonstrator's website and go to SaleABration, they'll show you all those things. I don't have them all in front of me today, but I did want to feature one of them that I know is still available and give it a little attention so that you don't overlook it in the catalog. So let me flip you down. Hang on. Boom. Okay. Hello. Okay. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is found on page 10 of the SaleABration catalog, or you can find it online. It's called the Silver and Gold 6x6 Designer Series Paper. So let me show you what it looks like. It comes with 24 sheets, 4 different patterns. So if you do the math, it's 6 of each. Actually, I didn't count them, but I'm pretty sure that they don't give you odd numbers of one and then other numbers of another. But the patterns here are silver. I'm obviously silver and gold, but gold. This one's gold, striped. And you'll see that it's not, they're not uniform stripes, which is kind of fun. You can do a lot with things that are not that straight. Dots that, again, are not straight and not all uniform in shape and size, which I love. And then the same thing in silver, and silver stripes and silver dots. So that's what you get in the package. These are not double-sided. Most Stampin' Up! Paper is double-sided. These are not double-sided. And they are quite thin, which means they make a nice layer to something, but they don't make they wouldn't make a good card unto themselves. As you can see, they're pretty thin here, but they do make a great layer and don't add a lot of bulk. So let me pull this in one more time so I can show you here what Stampin' Up! Has shown with them. So this is a back layer that has things added on top with nothing special done to the paper. This one here, they've colored it, and I'm going to show you a sample of that. And then this one here, they actually, it's really easy to overlook here, but they took a marker or 2 markers and just added additional stripes to the paper that's already on there, which is kind of fun to make it kind of like a shiny plaid. So let me show you some samples of things that I made with this. And this will be relatively quick because I'm not going to make all that much, but I am going to show you some samples. So this one here, this is the silver paper. I think you can see that shimmer there. And I used some of our Christmas DSP to make my teacups here. And I am pretty sure there's a book called Christmas Tea, or like I know of a Christmas tea story. Maybe it's a little kid show. I'm not sure, but there's a thing about Christmas tea. So that's what my theme was here with the 3 teacups and just a little bit of shine there to add a little bit and the Merry Christmas inside. So simple. Didn't do anything, just made it a layer on the card. Simple, simple. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you, I'll do a demonstration for you here with this. I'm going to use the, again, the silver. First one was silver stripes. This is silver dots. And it looks to me like snow. It could look like a lot of things, but right now it's going to look like snow. So I'm pulling in my Beauty of Friendship stamp set because I want to make a tree on this. So you should look through your stash and see if you've got any trees. I'm pretty sure you do. You could do this with basically any tree that is kind of Christmassy looking. So I'm going to put this is a 2-step stamp set. And the size of the stamp is the size of the block, which always makes things actually a little challenging. I tend to like to use blocks that are a little bit bigger than my stamp because it's a little bit easier to see what you're doing. But regardless, I'm doing it. So that was with Mossy Meadow, and then this is going to be the second layer with Evening Evergreen, just to add some real definition to this tree. Now, the thing about this is basically, I think you can see there that we've more or less kind of created a resist, right? Like the ink is not going to stick to where these silver dots are. So they look like they're in front of the tree. To me, it kind of looked like a soft snow scene. That's what I was going for, and that's what I think it looks like. But what I want you to notice, let me get my little pokey tool pointer here. Can you see how there's kind of like a little bit of ink, like particularly right on this one here? And that's not going to dry. So you need to take care of that and dry it yourself, because if you don't, it's when you start to, the next thing I'm going to do is kind of add a blend on top, and to do that it's really going to mush in. So all I'm going to do is take a paper towel and press over it, and it's going to take off the excess ink that is in, see, that was the excess ink that was in the circles there. So now it's not going to bleed when I do the next step. So don't forget to do that. Okay, the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my blending brush and some balmy blue. You certainly could do the same thing with the sponge if you like that kind of look. You'd get a very similar look. So what I do is that I tap on my ink pad, I tap on my paper so I don't get a really big splotch, and then I start to add it, blend it in. Different people like to do this different ways, so I just don't like really big blotches of blue on here. I like it to be a softer look, so that's why I tap off first. And it doesn't always happen. Sometimes I forget, and you'll know right away if it's the look you want or not. Now, I'm not going to add a darker blue on this, but you can kind of almost do an ombre, like it's fading in the sky. That would be a pretty look as well if you use maybe a darker blue. I say that and I'm so tempted to go to grab a darker blue, but I've got other things to show you, so I'm not going to do it right now, but maybe I'll play around with that later, see what I think. But I think you can now see, it may be hard to tell on camera, but I'm going to show you a finished card, and you'll be able to definitely see that that is definitely blue, and it looks like snowing in front of the blue. So that's how you can get that look, and let me show you a finished card of that. So it's a very, very simple card. I kind of wanted to go with the simplicity of just a tree out in the forest. So that's what I was going with. And then I added the pine, I don't know the name of it. It's like a pine bough embossing folder. And then, may the peace of the season light your world, and may your New Year's be the brightest. So that was that simple card that you can do with that. Okay, next. Okay, so this one is the exact same technique, so I'm not going to re-demonstrate this, but I'm going to show you here. So I used the stripes, and I did the same thing. I used a blending brush with Pool Party to add a little bit of color to that, so I've got just the silver and the Pool Party. This is using the, I'm totally going to blank on the name of this, but nope, I'm going to grab it right here. It's called Blessings of Home. I had it out. Blessings of Home is great for this, but we have a lot of stamp sets that are kind of similar in that they have really large flowers to color in that are very simple. So you could do that with any one of those that you owned. And then I used my go-to greetings, which is my go-to greetings for sure. And I used sort of the medium size thinking of you here, along with some ribbon. So easy, exact same technique I just showed you a second ago. All right, next, I'm going to color these in with some blends. So this one here is the gold. And I like, these lines to me are a little bit narrow for me to work with just one line at a time. So I'm going to go right over 2 lines, bring in another color. I'm going with a fall theme here. So I'm using what I consider to be fall colors. I'm trying to stay within the lines, which are not straight lines, mind you. So it's a little, it can be a little challenging. Actually, it's not easy to go through straight lines either. Oh, look at the tip on it. Can you see the tip on that? It's a mess. It's really, really quite messed up. Smushed, I believe is the word I was looking for. So I'm going to use the blunt tip of this. So there, the blends, the Stampin' Up! Blends come 2 color, well, most of them come 2 colors to a package, so a light and a darker color. I'm just using 1 color here. And then they each have 2 tips, so a blunt tip and a brush tip. So here's what a good brush tip looks like. And that was a poor brush tip that you saw. Brush tip is the side I tend to use most. And it can kind of get mushed after a while, so apparently it's time for a new color there, a new order. Okay, let me just show you one more on here, and then I'll show you a finished card. If I do use the blunt tip, as I'm showing here, it is much easier to stay in the lines, whether the lines are straight or not straight. So I kind of am outlining that here, and now I'm going to go in with this. This tip is also kind of mushy. Okay, note to self, get some more of those. Okay, so here's what you get in the end. So you have the pretty gold shining through there, as well as the color that you've added. And because I use blends, that's what it looks like on the other side. So let me show you a finished card with that here. So I'm using it along the side of the card, and then I use the exact same colors to do my leaves on the inside to make a really puppy kind of fall card. Now I did add a layer of gold behind here, and I wanted to show you where you can find those in the catalog. They can be found on page 139, or you can look up specialty paper online. But it is, we have a couple different options that will go with these. So one are the foil sheets that come in copper and gold. So you get, let me see, you get 2 sheets of whichever color you choose. And then we have a silver foil pack. So it's got a variety of silver colors, but the lightest color here will go with the silver paper that we're talking about, the specialty paper. So what I did here was that I cut out the middle of this. You can't see because I glued it down, but I would never waste all of this gold. You get 2 12 by 12 sheets, and it will take you a long way, but you don't want to waste a 4-inch square where you're only going to see 1/8 of an inch around the corner of it. So what I did was that I cut out the middle of this to use for another project. I'm going to show you that other project in just a second. But the gold from this matches the gold from that and really pops it out nicely. Okay, so this is what I cut out. So I had this, put it in the middle. Didn't even matter if it was really straight because I was going to cover that up there. I popped it out and decided, I will use this for my next card. So the next and final card I'm going to show you, super simple, but I'm taking my gold dots, my gold foil paper here, and I want to put this on here, but I don't want these dots to show through, and they will a little bit, and I don't want that. So I'm just using a sheet of a tiny little piece of white paper behind that. Let me just get my glue. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue right around here so as not to go beyond that, to go beyond this is what I mean. I don't want glue oozing through, so if I put it on the part with the holes, it's not going to ooze through. I hope that makes sense. Oh, I have glue in my hand. So I got a little glue on there. Oh, well. It is what it is. Okay, I'm going to put embossing. I'm going to put dimensionals on here. And pop that up on here as best I can in the center. I'm gonna say that looks good. And then I'm going to pull in the rest of my cards. So I previously did this part of the card. I used the Season's Greetings in white on Evening Evergreen. And I'm going to put this right on here. I'm not going to use the glue on this because, as I mentioned before, this is pretty thin paper. And I really don't want, sometimes when you use glue on very thin paper, you can kind of see the glue on the other side, you know what I mean? And I do not want that for this card. So I'm just using my Stampin' Seal. I don't know for sure it would happen, but I don't want to take chances. Okay, there we go. And this card here is one that, it's kind of like a fun fold. Oh, I didn't prepare an inside, but I will. It will be white with some green writing on that. So honestly, you could kind of, the card could go any way you want it to. The words go this way, kind of like, this is actually called a book binding fun fold. So kind of like the way that words go on the side of a binding, you could have it like this. I will probably sign it like that. You have to decide before you sign your card which way you want it to go. But I'll probably do it like this. I just used some of the new gold that's got a little shimmer to it. And you can't see any like little dots coming through. So it's exactly the way I wanted to go. But a very, very simple idea for this. So let me pull in all of the cards that I did today using the SaleABration specialty gold and silver paper, and you can see all the different kinds of looks that you can get. Now I tended to concentrate on Christmassy type things, but I've got a generic one and a fall one here, and you can see that you can do anything with it. When I think of holidays, I think of a little bit of shimmer, but you can use shimmer all year round. Okay, so that is that. Let me flip you around and chat with you for a second. So that paper is found on page 10 if you have a SaleABration catalog. If you don't have a SaleABration catalog, you can find it online under the SaleABration freebies. It is free to you with a $50 purchase. There are a bunch of other things still available and new things available. Some things are being sold out, so if there's something you really want, something you really have your heart set on, make sure that you place your orders soon. So please reach out to the demonstrator reach out to your demonstrator. If I'm your demonstrator, reach out to me and I absolutely will take care of you. If you do have any questions on anything you saw today, just leave me a note and I will be happy to answer them at the best I can. All right, hopefully I will see you next Tuesday night. Thanks again for tuning in.